afternoon. My name is Margaret Michaels. IMA's Brand Content and Storytelling Manager. Today, I am joined by Mike DePrisco, IMA's President and CEO, to discuss a topic on the minds of every accounting and finance professional. What is the impact of AI on the accounting and finance profession? In the last year, concerns around AI, specifically generative AI, have mounted. This new type of artificial intelligence uses algorithms to generate original text, images, software code, Excel formulas, and even music from a simple text prompt. ChatGPT is perhaps the most widely known and sometimes feared generative AI application. ChatGPT has been trained on massive amounts of data and can produce human quality content in seconds. So Mike, my first question for you is, do you think technology tools like ChatGPT will end the need for human accounting and finance professionals?
Well, thanks for the question, Margaret, and hello to everyone joining us. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Well, Margaret, your question's a good one. I think it's one that's top of mind for a lot of individuals today. I do think, though, the opposite is true. I think new technology, AI, ChatGPT, will require our professionals even more so today than previously. And let me tell you a little bit why I think that. I think it's critically important that skilled humans will always be needed, right? To leverage technology, to integrate technology into their teams and their organizations, because ultimately people are hired by organizations to optimize value creation. So, for example, ChatGPT, we know for accounting and finance, is going to help automate things like financial analysis, expense management, even cash flow projections. But humans are still going to be needed to facilitate the right data, to ensure that that data is free from bias, to interpret that data, perhaps even to weigh some ethical considerations around the data that is coming out of these machines. So I think from an accounting and finance perspective, I think that we are still going to need professionals to inform good decision-making in organizations, which is what I think accounting and finance professionals have always done. So my advice to accounting and finance professionals, make sure you have solid general financial knowledge, technology knowledge, but continue to evolve your skills in the area of data analysis, data science, machine learning, so that you're keeping pace with this technology and you'll be able to effectively leverage it in your organization.
Good advice. And the skills you mentioned are difficult to find now and in demand by employers, which is actually contributing to what is widely known as the talent pipeline crisis in accounting. Can you expand a little bit on this pipeline issue and how advanced technologies like AI may actually be part of the solution to the pipeline problem?
Yeah, I think, again, that's another topic that really is getting a lot of press, of course. A lot of people are talking about it. IMA is certainly talking about it and taking a number of strategic actions to address the talent pipeline challenge. We're working with many accounting organizations to come up with tangible, practical solutions for how we can strengthen the pipeline and protect and preserve the future of the accounting and finance profession. I see the talent pipeline challenge in two ways. First is the front end pipeline, attracting students and young people to a career in accounting or finance. We know that, at least in the United States, undergraduate enrollment in accounting programs is on the decline. Some put the estimate at 9, 10, 11% year over year. So there's certainly a challenge around why are young individuals or students not choosing accounting as a career. And then the second issue, I think, is once we have individuals in the career, we're challenged with keeping them. retaining them. There was a recent report that said that 300,000 accounting and audit professionals were leaving the profession over the last several years. And then, they're leaving for a number of reasons. Some of them are retiring, but also others are leaving because they're finding other more rewarding career opportunities, maybe with better pay, better flexibility with work and life and so forth. The U.S. BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, recently commented that the accounting profession is going to need about 135,000 new professionals every year through 2031. So when you start looking at the data and looking at the challenge in front of us, it is certainly significant. And IMA has recently, in fact, just last week, we released the first two reports in a series of reports on talent retention. We released the US report and the Asia Pacific report, and it really seeks to understand and examine why accounting and finance job turnover occurs. We surveyed more than 1,000 accounting finance professionals around the world. We talked to recruiters, and a number of themes surfaced that's creating some challenges for the profession that, quite frankly, I believe the profession can fix, whether it's competitive pay and benefits, whether it's flexibility, remote work, for example, hybrid work, whether it's creating organizations that are inclusive and really are committed to purpose and making an impact in their communities, or maybe it's organizations that are committed to professional development for their employees. So there's a lot of factors at play, but I will say that one of the things that came out of the report that I think speaks directly to your question is that we found that accounting and finance workers, especially those between the ages of 18 and 38, they want to see their employers adopt technology like AI and automation and machine learning, right? Because first and foremost, it's something that they've grown up with. It's part of their DNA. So they're looking for organizations that have adopted those technologies because that's going to enable them to get more job satisfaction, to do things that are less rote and routine, and to focus on more exciting, more strategic, more value add activities.
That's a great answer. And yes, like you said, technology, when employers implement technology, they can often reduce routine, tedious tasks. And for younger people, the ability to work on projects that contribute more to the strategic value of the organization is very important. So yes, AI technologies like it will actually have a large role in solving that talent pipeline crisis. One of the questions a lot of people ask is, how do we teach undergraduate accounting and finance students how to actually use this kind of technology in the workplace? Like, what is IMA doing to bring this kind of like real world application of technology to accounting and finance students?
Well, we have a great relationship with the academic community. We spend a lot of time working with academics, with researchers, with students, with universities around the world to support their efforts in providing high quality, rigorous training and academic curriculum in accounting and finance. And we recognized, I think, early on how technologies like AI would change the profession, and the need and the urgency, quite frankly, to adapt to these technologies. With our academic partners, we've helped to incorporate one of our own certificate programs in data analytics and visualization fundamentals into the curriculum at some colleges and universities. So it's baked in, it's embedded in the curriculum that these universities are teaching their undergraduates. So these students are getting real-time skills and capabilities that are needed in today's workforce. I think that's one of the best ways to show students by bringing those real life scenarios. We've also developed certification or certificate programs in topics like cybersecurity, which again is another big topic that people that care about in organizations. Certificate programs in ESG, where we can show students how finance and accounting plays a critical role in progressing the ESG challenges that exist around the world, because all of that is going to be very much dependent on understanding data, interpreting data, analyzing data, and being able to report on that data in a meaningful way that people can make decisions based on that information. So I think we're trying to show how today's accounting, if you will, to students differs from the past and can be very much value add to what organizations are looking for from their employees.
And yeah, baking those skills right into the curriculum is probably the best way to prepare these students to jump right into accounting and finance roles and use the technology as it was intended to be used.
You know, Margaret, I do want to also add, you know, in 2 weeks' time, I'll be in Detroit for our annual Student Leadership Conference. We'll be bringing together 400 or 500 undergraduate students, largely from accounting and finance programs across the United States. And it's an opportunity to spend 2-3 days with these students to really talk to them and put interesting, compelling speakers in front of them that talk about what's happening in the profession, how they can contribute, how a degree in accounting and finance can be a rewarding one and can add a lot of value to their overall career goals and objectives. So I'm really looking forward to that. But again, I think that's just another way, you know, getting in front of young people, mentoring them, educating them, helping them understand the various options that exist in terms of careers in accounting and finance, I think is really important.
Absolutely. And accounting and finance is the language of business. So to get a degree in accounting and finance is to gain a new language, if you will. So it's a good entry point for all different kinds of roles in business today. And I think one of the things some people do with technology is underestimate its ability to think creatively or to plan strategically. And we've seen that actually is not the case. There have been a lot of studies, one most recently published in the Wall Street Journal, about how technology can actually create in the way that like humans have been doing forever. Can you tell us a little bit about that particular study and how it proved that machines are kind of up to the task of what used to be the domain of humans in terms of creativity?
Yeah, and more importantly, not to be afraid of the technology either. I was reading the Wall Street Journal and I came across this study that was done for Wharton professors, posed the question, who can think more innovatively, humans or machines? And they took a set of ideas that were randomly generated from 200 students and compared the results with 100 ideas offered up by ChatGPT. And there were all, you know, 3 areas of the study that participants really were evaluated on. They were evaluated on the quantity of their ideas, the quality of their ideas, which ideas were truly exceptional. And the study found that ChatGPT outperformed humans in all of these areas. And, you know, for some people, they may look at that and say, gosh, you know, see, you know, machines are going to replace us. But I think you're missing the point there. I think what it shows is that this technology is very powerful and can be used as a really important tool in the creative process. And, you know, many people are using things like ChatGPT to generate ideas, and then humans build on those ideas. They add context to those ideas. There's nuance that needs to be considered when these ideas surface, right? But the process of generating the ideas, you can rely on the machines to do that. So that's really a great opportunity. So that's why I say, people need to understand how to leverage and harness the power of these tools, and don't be afraid of them, because I do really see them working hand in hand with individuals and helping an organization achieve its outcomes.
Absolutely. So reframing AI, let's say, as an ally instead of an adversary is kind of critical. And can you tell us a little bit about some research that IMA is going to be doing in the coming months about the impact of AI on management accounting specifically?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. In fact, I think every week I ask our senior director of research, when's that AI study coming out? But soon, I think in the next month or so, we will be publishing a research paper on the impact of AI on management accounting, and featuring new perspectives and viewpoints on AI in our digital magazine called Strategic Finance. So some of the things that we focus on, or the research focuses on, is around AI and digital technology. They tend to be, the questions that come up tend to be ethical in nature. So we're creating a holistic certificate program called Ethics in the Digital Age to support our practitioners by addressing ethical challenges that accompany new technology, and offering up practical hands-on guidance on how to build an ethical culture in a digital age. We have one of the things that I think really sets IMA apart from many organizations is our management accounting competency framework, which really identifies the skills, competencies, capabilities that today's professional in accounting and finance needs to have to be successful. I look at it as having tools in your tool belt and choosing the right tool based on the challenge or problem that you're aiming to solve for at work. And certainly one of those competency areas in that framework is around professional values and ethics. So technology must be deployed with consideration, with ethics in mind. In addition to that, I mean, we're going to continue to look at ways to provide practical examples and case studies for how AI can be leveraged in organizations. That's certainly something I always hear about when I talk to organization leaders, CFOs, students, practitioners, is, they're interested in AI, but they're not quite sure how to make it a reality, how to practically implement it. So I think, between some of the new research, some of the new tools that we have coming out, some of our learning modules, I think that will, play a big role in helping to bridge that gap that exists.
Yes, and the ethical questions are many and very complex, as you had mentioned, and you touched earlier on things like bias, the integrity of the data as affecting the outcome of AI systems. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about those ethical questions as they pertain to AI?
Yeah, I think checks and balances is a good way to frame it. I think as more and more of critical functions become relegated to algorithms, I think management accountants are certainly best positioned to provide those necessary checks and balances. To your point, is the data reliable? Is it accurate? Is it free from bias? Versus just accepting the data as is. And I think that's where humans play such a critical role. I think we need to be confident in interpreting the data that's been analyzed with the use of these systems. And again, I think management accountants are best positioned. These are things that they have long done as part of their remit. And I think just demonstrates how they can even add more value to organizations as these technologies continue to gain traction.
Absolutely. And management accountants are also probably in the best position to monitor the regulatory environment around AI. There have been, especially in Europe, I think many attempts to at least provide some kind of regulatory framework around these systems to lend some transparency about how they operate. Do you think that there will be, in the coming years, more regulations around this space? Because right now it's kind of like a black box,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's different arguments, different sides to this particular issue. Individuals that want more governance, more regulation, individuals that don't want that as much. They'd like the market to kind of decide, the users to decide what those best practices are. But I do think, unfortunately, like any new technology, it's going to take some time for it to really settle. I think we've already seen instances where it's been used for very good reasons and good things, and in some cases where it's been used for not so great things. And so I think there's probably always going to need to be some degree of governance, oversight, regulation. The question or the real challenge is, how do you do that without minimizing or devaluing innovation? In helping organizations decide how to best leverage technology to deliver the outcomes that their customers and their stakeholders need.
Absolutely. And we have about, I would say, like 7 minutes left. So I'm curious, when you look to the future, do you feel optimistic about management accountants' ability to embrace this technology, to understand it, to use it, to learn it early?
Yeah, no, I do. I think I'm optimistic. I think a lot of people are optimistic, and with very good reason. I do see many. I come into contact with many individuals. People are interested in this. They're eager to learn about it. They're leaning into it, trying to understand how they can best use and, as I said earlier, harness the technology to drive better results, whatever type of organization they work in, for-profit, government, nonprofit, and so forth. I think no one has all the answers when it comes to technology. It will continue to evolve. It'll continue to change. It'll continue to challenge us to think creatively, to solve complex problems. But I do know that management accountants, we can rely on them to ask the right questions to help get to those decisions. I have much excitement in the profession. As you said earlier, accounting is the language of business. I truly do believe that. You can find it everywhere, in every organization, in every industry, in every sector. And in that way, it's very dynamic and creates a lot of opportunities for individuals looking for different options in terms of a career. I really think management accountants are integral. They're integral business professionals. They're shaping organizations. They're influencing communities where they live and work. And I look forward to partnering with those individuals, those organizations. IMA is there to support in any way we can, and we're eager to make a difference and impact in our community.
And is IMA product development platform going to be focused on AI and technology in the coming months and years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're already leveraging AI ourselves in the work that we do within our organization, in how we create learning and how we think about our certification program. And we're also, obviously, as we develop new products and services and programs to make available to practitioners, I think AI and technology, it has to be at the cornerstone, has to be a big component of that, because that's how the world is that's the direction the world's going. That's what people expect. that's how we get clarity in terms of the data that we're seeking, the problems we're trying to solve, the progress that we're making. So for sure.
Great. And I'm just curious, with the emergence of AI and the need to upskill, do you think joining professional organizations or associations are a good strategy for people who want to learn?
Well, no. Thanks for the softball, Margaret. But no, for sure. I think professional associations have long provided great value to people that are working in a profession, are looking to gain knowledge, stay current, and more importantly, to connect with people like them that are, working in similar roles in different organizations and are struggling perhaps with solving problems. And there's a whole network of people that you can tap into to get the answer. I think today more than ever, individuals need to be focused on continuous improvement, and professional associations like IMA and others create that platform to allow you to continuously improve, to customize your learning journey as you see fit, to reach out to individuals who could serve as mentors to you, to connect with people all over the world, not just in your state, not just in your country. And that's something that's unique about IMA being a global organization. You can connect with people anywhere, different time zone, different countries, and really just learn about what's going on and get different perspectives that you could then bring back to your organization and try it out. So yes, I fully support professional associations.
Yes, and sometimes your peers have answers or think of solutions that you may not have. So Absolutely. It's important to connect with people in the same industry.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for joining me. This was a wonderful discussion, and I'm hopeful that all of our listeners got something out of it as well.
Yeah, no, this was fun. I really appreciate the time. And I enjoyed talking to you, and let's do it again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for joining us.